Is up. We will get started.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Southampton Preschool, where children come first. My name is Karen Jones, and I'm the preschool administrator at Southampton Preschool. We are happy that you are thinking of choosing our preschool as part of your child's educational experience. We want your child to be happy and successful at Southampton Preschool. We believe that you play a key role. That role is to continue to support and show interest in your child. The child who knows that his or her family is interested and in supports the school program will have fewer issues in school, thus enjoying greater all-round success. We believe in fair and consistent discipline that encourages students to be responsible for themselves. At preschool, we create a safe environment where courtesy and kindness prevails. We provide a literature-rich learning environment. Our instruction is 100% hands-on, developmentally appropriate, inquiry-based, and interactive learning experiences. We are confident that your child will enjoy his or her learning experience here at Southampton Preschool. Again, welcome. We have three phenomenal, dedicated, experienced, passionate classroom teachers, and they are Ms. Durant, the teacher of the Bluebirds, Mr. Silver, the teacher of the Dancing Dolphins, and Ms. Payne, the teacher of the Shining Stars. We also have support staff here at Southampton Preschool. Ms. Patricia Steele is our learning support teacher, Ms. Yolanda Bazin is our school counselor, and Ms. Doris is our educational therapist. Ms. Doris, would you like to say something at this time, Ms. Doris?
Yes, I want to welcome everybody to Southampton Preschool. I am the educational therapist. I will be working with the students who may have some behavior challenges that impede their learning in the classroom environment, and we also strengthen social-emotional skills along with the counselor. So I look forward to working with any and all of your kids if they happen to show up at Southampton. Thanks.
Excellent. We also have the support services from the Department of Health. We have occupational therapy, we have speech language pathology, and we also have physiotherapy. Our mission statement: at Southampton Preschool, we will provide a safe, nurturing, and stimulating environment which encourages risk-taking, problem-solving, exploration, and development of the whole child. Each member of Southampton Preschool community will be valued and acknowledged. We celebrate our similarities and our differences while fostering self-esteem, self-confidence, and respect for self and others. At Southampton Preschool, we will play, have fun in an environment conducive to learning. Our vision statement: our vision is to develop well-rounded, confident, and responsible students who aspire to achieve their full potential. At Southampton Preschool, we will do this by providing a welcoming, happy, safe, and supportive learning environment in which everyone is equal and all achievements are celebrated.
This is our main entrance. The beautiful artwork was designed by Ms. Nicole Rattery, who is coming to our school 2 times per week to teach art to all the students. We also have a butterfly garden outside, where the children can come and see the metamorphosis of a butterfly each and every day. We have a large outside playground equipment. At one side is the swings, and the other side is the actual playground equipment. Lots of room for students to run, play, have fun, all while developing their gross motor skills. We also have an upper playground that was designed by inmates, thus establishing a community partnership. They put together a sandbox, table, chairs, and 3 houses, and the children can be seen visiting this area each and every day. Here we have a bulletin board that displays the children's activities for the whole 3 different terms.
Okay, at Southampton Preschool, we have a creative curriculum that has been ordained by the Department of Education. It's called the Creative Curriculum. It is the 38 research-based objectives are at the heart of everything we do, and they define the path teachers take with their children in their classrooms. They inform every aspect of learning, teaching. They include predicators of school success and are aligned with state early learning guides and the Head Start early learning program. Our objective for development and learning span from birth through grade 3. They enable teachers to see child's development and learning along a progression across the whole of the early childhood years. The objectives cover 10 areas of development and learning, including broad development areas, content areas, English language acquisition. Many objectives also include dimensions that guide teachers' learning and thinking about various aspects of the objective that help and clarify what it addresses. At this present time, we are undertaking the box study. You're probably saying, why box study? Boxes are endlessly fascinating to young children, perhaps more than any other toy or game. Boxes have the power to hold children's attention and spark their imagination in astonishing ways. Open-ended and plain, the humble cardboard box is full of possibilities that most children cannot resist bending to their own will. Some of the investigations for our box study includes, what are the characteristics of boxes? What jobs involve boxes? What are boxes made of? What can we do with boxes? And how can we move boxes? Thanks. We will now have Mrs. Kim De Silva. She's going to go over a typical day at the preschool. Ms. De Silva, are you ready?
We can't hear her. We can't hear her.
She's muted.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot to unmute. It's been a long day. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kim De Silva, and I'm one of the teachers here at Southampton Preschool. I'm actually using my colleague's laptop as mine has booted me out twice, so I thought I'd play it safe. I've been tasked with sharing the daily schedule, a typical day in the life of a preschooler. School begins at 8:30. Students are brought to school where their temperature is taken before entering the classroom. They must wear a mask. Upon entering the classroom, they put their backpack in their cubbies and their mask in their backpacks. Then they go directly to the sink to wash their hands before signing in. 8:30 to 9:30 is choice time. Students choose an interest area within the classroom to play by exploring, experimenting, and taking risks in a safe environment, learning through play. Due to the COVID-19, students play and create on their own in the different areas during choice time. These areas include the listening area, where they can listen to a story, may also consist of puzzles and an iPad. Science area, this is where students explore with scientific items. For example, we are learning about boxes in our study. Large boxes have been placed there for them to build with and discover how to balance them, compare them, contrast them, and be as creative as they can. Math area, students will participate in mathematical skills such as sorting, comparing, sizes, measuring, just to name a few. We have an art area. This is the area where they are able to explore with different medias and draw and paint pictures and show their imagination and their creativity. The craft area, here students will use their imagination to create something with the supplies put out for their creativity. Glue, scissors, paper, stamps, glitter, sequencing. They are using boxes at the moment to create. Writing area. This area is for students to strengthen their fine motor skills, the ability to write. Stringing pegs, pegs and pegboards, Play-Doh, and so much more. The block area, students will build using blocks, Duplo, Lego, etc. And at the moment, They are building with the boxes they have brought in from home. Dramatic play area. Here students use a kitchen, feed the baby, call a friend, cook food. There's no dress up due to the coronavirus. Empty boxes have been added to this area from the box study. The computer area. Here students learn to navigate the activities by using a mouse to pick a game to learn and play. Manipulatives and game area. Students learn how to take turns and share while playing a game, as well as developing skills using manipulatives such as magnets to create a pattern. Again, due to COVID, most of these games are played with their teacher. 9:30 is large group. This is when students interact with their teacher and the whole class. This is where the lesson for the day is introduced, the question of the day, calendar, mighty minutes, which you'll hear more about in this presentation. Music and movement. 10 a.m., students wash up for fruit. They place their cloth napkin on the table and put their reusable water bottle on the table and their fruit. When they finish, they use the toilet, wash, and flush. They read a story while they wait for their peers to finish. At 10:30 is read aloud. This is where the teacher reads a story to the students chosen from the study. For example, the box stories to go with the box study, discussing the front of the book, the cover, the front and back, the title. What do you think this book is about? Asking questions, going over vocabulary. And what do you think will happen next? And so on. We also at this time would do Hegarty, which is a phonemic awareness, the awareness that spoken words are made up of individual sounds called phonemes. At 11 a.m. is our outdoor play. This includes the playground, which is the large climbing frames, the sand and water play, as well as the swings and bikes. We provide the bikes. We ask you to provide the helmets for your child's safety. Students rotate between these areas daily so that they remain in their own class bubble. At 12 noon, they wash up for lunch. On completing eating, they pack away, use the toilet, and ready themselves for nap. They read a book while they wait for their peers again. At 12:45, students settle for a nap and are usually read a story. 1:30 is nap time. 2:15, students wake up and go back to their class with their classroom teacher. 2:30 is large group where we do wrap up for the day. We discuss what they have learned during the day and what they may have enjoyed and why. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do Owls Pals, kids making healthy choices. And finally, at 3 p.m. is class dismissal. Students will be brought to their parents at the gate and they will be wearing their mask. Note, a little FYI, we offer after school. More information is coming soon. Have a great evening, everyone, and thanks for joining me.
We are now going to have Ms. Durant, and she's going to talk about the components of the creative curriculum. Ms. Durant.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Southampton Preschool. The Mighty Minutes is one of our creative curriculum components. It's a collection of 100 quick, playful, and engaging activities that are designed to inspire learning, featuring interactive songs, rhymes, and games. They can be used anytime and anywhere to intentionally teach language, literacy, math, science, social studies, and physical skills. Another component is called the book discussion cards. The book discussion cards offer suggestions for introducing each book, emphasizing on vocabulary, and making comments and asking probing questions. The intentional teaching cards is also another component. These are playful, engaging activities that allow the teachers to adapt the activities for all children in different developmental stages. So let me give you an example of a mighty minute. Hippity hoppity, how many? So you would tell me 4. And we would use this to do transition, or we play with the children. So welcome, have a good evening.
We will now have Mrs. Payne. She's going to talk about the morning program, the after-school program, and she's going to also talk about the entry and exit protocols for COVID-19. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lugina Payne, and I'm the teacher of the Shining Stars class. I'm here to discuss the morning care. In previous years, we offered a morning care from 7:30 to 8:30. Unfortunately, this year, due to the COVID situation, we have not been able to have this program run this year. Hopefully next year we will. For the after-school care, after-school care runs from 3 o'clock to 5:45. This program is currently run by teachers here at the preschool. If your child will be attending after-school care, please send them an extra snack, water, and a hat if it's the summertime. We also have a health and safety protocol due to COVID. These protocols have been established by the Department of Health. When you arrive on the school premises, all persons must wear a mask. At this time, parents and guardians are not allowed in the building. Therefore, you will be met at the entry gate at 8:30, which is the start of the preschool day, and you will be asked 4 COVID-19 related questions. If you answer yes to any of these questions, your child will not be allowed entry into the school. When your child arrives at school, they must wear a mask until they enter their classroom. Once students are in their classrooms, they are allowed to remove their mask for the day and must wash their hands. Classes are well ventilated and students play in their own assigned learning areas. They also have their separate containers with their own classroom supplies in them. Students are encouraged to practice hand washing throughout the day. All classrooms remain in their bubbles for the entire day. Thanks to our large physical layout, students also remain in their class groups for outdoor play. One class will go to the large playground, the other will ride bikes, and the third class would use the smaller play area and swings. We have a full-time day cleaner who sanitizes the highly touched surface areas and toys throughout the day. We also have an after-school care cleaner. Thank you for listening.
So we've come to the end of our presentation. I hope that you're going to choose our school. Right now, I can have Mrs. Eve. She can talk about the preschool registration dates and any queries that you may have at this present time. Mrs. Eve.
Good evening, all. Preschool registration will be held. You could go back to the other slide, please. February 2nd to the 4th. It is an online registration this year. The link to the application form will be posted on our Bermuda Public School System Facebook page. So I'll encourage everyone, if you haven't already done so, to like our page. Most of our information is being posted there. Additionally, the information can be found on our website, www.moed.bm. The registration, like I said, is online. The required documentation is a copy of your child's birth certificate, as well as a copy of a BALCO bill in the parent's name. If you do not have a BALCO bill in your name, there are various other documentation that can be received, such as a lease or a vehicle registration, no driver's license, no cell phone bills, a gas and utility bill will suffice. Anything that has a land associated with it for residential. Additionally, for Southampton Preschool, it is per parish. So hopefully everybody on the in the open house tonight resides in the Southampton parish. Southampton Parish actually starts at the Southampton, the bridge. Okay, so anywhere from the bridge up to and a little ways past Southampton Preschool. So you should have a SB something postal code. Basically, we use that. Otherwise than that, I do refer to Google Maps to make sure that you are actually in the correct parish. Okay, some people adjust there on that boundary. At this time as well, like to note that we do expect a lot of applications this year. So just to be known that a submitted application does not mean that your child will be granted a placement. Okay. Any other questions at this time?
Right here we have all our contact information. We have a beautiful website page. And you can go on the website page by going onto www.moed.bm/shp/. The website is, on the website you can see our monthly newsletters. We would have the calendar, the different programs that we have at Southampton Preschool, so you're there to visit at any time. It's a lovely website to go on. We have our special education officer, Mrs. Carmelita Trott, and she tends to deal with children that are having some, maybe they're picked up by CDP, they may have some issues. She would let us know, and she would come and give our support at the preschool level. Ms. Carmelita Trott, do you have anything to say at this moment?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I am Carmelita Trott, and I am a preschool education officer for preschool and P1. So if you have any concerns about your child starting preschool, give me a call. There is my contact information there and my email address. So you can email me or call me and we can have a chat. Welcome to Bermuda Public School System.
Thank you, Mrs. Trott. We truly appreciate that. At this moment, does anyone have any questions?
Hello, could I ask a question?
Sure.
Since you no longer have the early morning drop-off initiative, what is the earliest time I could drop off my child if he attends Southampton Preschool?
8:30.
So 8:30, okay. So all parents and children are trying to drop off at that same time?
Pretty much for the most part, yes, yes.
Okay. And the after-school program, you didn't go too much in detail about that, as in what time it might finish? Or what time do you pick up?
The program runs from 3 o'clock to 5:45.
5:45, okay.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Hello there, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Just want to ask you, do you accept internet billing or bank statement?
A bank statement is I don't need to see your dollars and cents, just your name on the respective bank letterhead. That'll be fine.
That's fine. All right, thank you.
Any other questions at this moment?
Yes, I have a
good
question.
evening.
Oh.
I was
Hello?
just wondering what your student to teacher ratio is normally.
The ratio is 1 to 10. So each classroom has 10 students.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Bella S?
Yes, good evening. I'm just wondering, so how many classes do you have this year?
We have 3 classrooms. We have the Shining Stars, we have the the Shining Stars, the Bluebirds, and the Dancing Dolphins.
So that means you accept 30 students this year?
Yes.
And we are, because I just heard that SB with a postal code, but we are actually just right in front of the Port Royal, Southampton Post SN.
Yes, we do SN as well, yes.
SN, okay.
Yeah, we do up to SN 03.
And here's SN 01.
Yeah, you're fine. You're
Okay.
allocated. Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Hi, just one more question.
Sure.
Do you also have to register for the after school program, or is that something that we put on our registration forms and we sign them up for preschool?
So basically, for right now, we do a private after school program, which is run by the teachers here at Southampton Preschool. So once we have the orientation meeting, you can generate your interest. You want to do the after school program.
Okay.
What's the price?
Yes.
Someone wants to know how much it costs.
It's $10 per day. So if you come one day, it's $10. If you come 2 days, it's $20. And if you come the whole 5 days, it's $50 for the whole week. But we're not going to charge you. If you come one day, we're not going to charge $50 for one day. We just charge you the $10.
And there's a question here. It says, how do we decide which class, how do you decide which class the kids move into? So how do you decide what class?
So
they go
basically what we do,
into
we
out of
try
the
to make it even where it's like girl, girl and boy ratio for the most part. Sometimes we have requests where you might have had a child that came here before and you might have requested a particular teacher. So it all depends on the number of children, girl boy ratio, because we want to have it, pretty much equally in both classes. But sometimes we do, we can do requests by, if you want to request by a particular teacher, it's not a problem. But like I said, it all depends on the girl boy ratio.
Yeah, so we don't commit to promising that your child is going to be in a specific class with a specific teacher, because we also look at the makeup of the class. And sometimes you will have certain children that either may need more attention. And so you may say, okay, we've got 2 children like this, so we may have to separate them out and move them around. The other thing is sometimes we may, even after we start the school year, make some changes because we're trying to get the right balance and the right fit in each class. So we reserve that right to move the child, but we try not to, because we know that we want to have a stable start for them. But sometimes we do switch children around.
Any other questions?
Also, Karen, I forgot, the toilet, the children should be fully toileted.
Okay.
Okay.
May I just ask a question? We're in Somerset, so if we go to register for Lagoon Park and there's 40 kids that want to go to Lagoon Park, what happens to the 10? Our second choice would be Southampton, but what happens if, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so you can make, you should be, preschools is per parish, is based on parish.
Yes.
You make application for your parish. If you are not awarded a placement right away, you will be placed on a waiting list. The persons who actually make it to the waiting list are the persons who have applied on time generally. So those persons will be placed on the waiting list. If you do not get a spot right away, I would say sometimes do not be alarmed, because there are persons who make a dual application for private and both public. So we have some persons who are actually applying for a private placement and they may not find out right away. So they have the applications running concurrently, which is not a bad idea, so that you can make sure that your child has a spot somewhere. And I work all through the summer. So I might call you in the middle of summer vacation and say, hey, there's a spot open for you. So all hope is not lost. But unfortunately, this year, due to COVID, I have not called many people who were on my list. So I still have some persons who are on my waiting list from September.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions? If there are no more questions, we're going to end the session.
It's one more new in the.
How soon would parents know of the acceptance for their preschool?
Right now, I am projecting a date possibly of May. And that is because we have identified persons with needs. And so we make sure that all of those persons, we want to make sure that persons are allocated correctly and in the appropriate programming. So we are projecting a acceptance placement notification possibly in May. If it's earlier, great. It's just that right now I am running all 4 registrations at one time. And so I have a lot on my plate right now, but we are looking for placements to be announced May.
And someone had a question about analysis of the child being made. So at registration, you're asked to indicate whether or not your child has any special needs or concerns. And that is a place that you would alert us to any concerns there might be for their development or their special needs. But in addition to that, when the children start preschool, we do a screening of just a general screening, just a light touch to see where they are developmentally. And that may indicate some red flags if there are some concerns. But how we assess children throughout the year is through observation. While they're engaged in their play, we listen to the way they talk, we watch what they do, whether they can ask questions, how they get along with their friends. And so all of those developmental areas that you saw up earlier, we would be taking notes on that. Our type of assessment is within the natural environment. If there is a child that there are some concerns, we may have our school ET, if there's some behavior concerns, we have that specialist. We also have our learning support teachers that we may consult with. And we have a counselor that is there to support us with sometimes there may be issues going on that they need extra support with, but we also have ALS Pals that helps children to learn how to get along, but also there's a safety feature to it as well, so that children are learning how to be safe and how to stay safe. Also how to regulate their emotions, taking care of themselves, independence. So there are a number of individuals that are, as you may refer to them as consultants, that we can consult with, say, oh, we have this concern, help us out. What do you think? Or if you have concerns, you can do the same thing. If it's something major, then we will call you in for a team meeting and share our concerns with you. And I believe Ms. Joynes talked about the 3 reporting periods where you get an actual report. Okay, so hopefully that has helped. I think there's one more message. Let me see. Nope, that's it. Let me see.
It's one more there.
Yeah, there is one more message there. So the registration starts February 2nd. So Tuesday.
12:01.
Yes.
12:01. It is set.
Yeah. First come, first serve.
I was just going to note that. Right. So the application process, just as Ms. Bushi said, will go live. I already have the date set. It will open up at 12:01. But like Ms. Bushi said, it's not based on first come, first serve.
Okay, it is 6:42. So we've gone over time, and thankfully we don't have another open house coming behind us, but we've made up a bit of time from when we were booted out. I think I have an idea of what happened. And I really appreciate all of you staying by and jumping back on, and your interest in our Bermuda public preschools. I think they're the best. And I'm certainly glad that you took some time out to join us to learn a little bit more, and feel free to reach out to the schools. And we have, if it's not based on first come, first serve, what is it based on? So that, Miss Eve, you still with us?
You can put me on the spot, Ms. Bushi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We go through. I do go through the applications with a fine-tooth comb, may I ask. Looking at the registration, I'm looking at the residential addresses, number 1. If you do not have correct documentation, if I constantly call for correct documentation, it's a lot of that. We have as well a lot of parents who write down that their children are toilet trained after various assessments, or when you used to be able to go into schools, the administrators can identify that your child is actually not toilet trained. You may, we have had some persons who have actually started school in September, found out that they haven't been toilet trained. And unfortunately, parents have been upset because they have been asked to leave. So I don't wish that to happen to anyone. So please be truthful in the application process. And we do have, and then there's other criteria as well that they will, they screen you. And so there is it's a whole list of different criteria that we go through to analyze the application. And then also, because we do not have lots of space, it also gets weeded out from the late applicants as well.
And there was a question whether or not the registration forms would be available before the 2nd.
No, they will not. I have 2 registrations before that, so it's all timed to show when the applications will be submitted. And as well, we look at the primary and preschool are running at the same time. So no, they will not be opened prior to that. Sorry.
But know that you can always reach out to the administrator if you have any questions or any concerns. And also, if you have questions and concerns around registration, you can reach out to Ms. Eve. Her number was placed on the screen. So thank you very much. It's been great to see the little ones in the background. Many of them are very engaged and watching, and I see someone has something, I'm not sure what it is in their hand, but they look very busy. So thank you, and thank you very much for cooperating by having your cameras on. This is, I guess, the way that things are for now. And it is a little bit of an invasion of your privacy, but at the same time, we understand if you have children and you need to be moving around or doing things with them. So we very much appreciate that. We appreciate our Department of Education officers joining us, as well as our school support team, and for our teachers and for administrators. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
I just want to end with this quote. Early childhood education is the key to the betterment of our society. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you joining our meeting tonight, and we look forward to having your child here in September. Have a great evening.
Good night.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.